What's happening, everybody? PureSalvation here, and welcome to another Behind the Mind episode. Today we're going to be looking at Radiation Domination gameplay, and so let's just see what we can do here. So, Radiation, I am very fond of this map. I do rather well, and I usually tend to vote for this map just because it's relatively easy to do well on this, and I think you guys might know this because I've posted many gameplays on Radiation. And so I guess you guys can sort of see why I like it so much. And so right off the bat, of course, I'm going to take A and try to get as many points as I can, because I'm trying to prestige pretty fast. But however, what I do recommend is actually take C and B. It's actually going to be a lot easier to hold than A and B, because the distance between the underground and A is actually a lot larger than the distance between C and the underground. So if you're trying to take control of the underground, which I highly suggest, and which is part of the objective, then you might want to consider doing that, because that's really going to help maintain the objective a bit easier than just the other way around. However, I don't do that, and I'm also going to show you guys how to do it the other way around. However, my teammates decided to go take C, and so I'm a bit nervous about this whole spawn switching system. And as you guys can tell, my whole entire team is on the other side of the map, and so I'm thinking to myself, alright, this spot has just become a bit dangerous for me, and so I need to really watch out where I'm going. And so I see that we're losing A, and I immediately turn and try to cover it. And so right there, I know I was about to lose that gunfight, so I decide to flank around, and he still gets me. Oh well, you live and you learn. But that's something you guys should keep in mind, is always pay attention to where your teams are spawning, what flags you have, and where the spawn system is probably going to flip, because right here we got the ideal sort of spawn trap system going on here. Actually, just the better side captain. I don't know what I was thinking here, to be honest. This was actually a while back, but I decided to sort of take a better vantage point, start to clear things out for a little, and try to get a better positioning on B. And however, our teammates are still spawning on that side, on the wrong side of the map, because I guess you can sort of say it's my fault, because I was just lounging around over there for a bit, if you will. So I see this guy, he just took C, and so I'm really going to get on his tail, because there's no way I'm going to even think about taking C without making sure it's clear, because the guy who just left there is going to notice that, oh, we're losing C. Hey, I was just there, I can probably get an easy kill off of that. And so, I guess I die anyway. But I kind of saw that coming now that I'm looking back at this video, because I did see a red dot over around C a little while back. And I realized that my teammates are still spawning at A Dom, and so I realized that this whole entire system, or this spawn system right now, is really getting all trippy. And I realized that I need to take a better position, start clearing things out, and sort of just get an idea of where the enemies are spawning, so I can get a better positioning, and of course, just maintain the objective again. Because, like I said, guys, positioning is key, and I've said that in many videos, even in Modern Warfare 2. Positioning is not only going to determine the spawn, it's also going to help determine the outcome of who takes what in Domination. And so, of course, now that I'm spawning relatively close to C, my teams are going to start spawning around there. And right here, I kind of get lucky, or I do get lucky, and I pull off a nice little kill. And so, the spawn system in this game was unbelievably confusing, in my opinion. As soon as I think we're spawning on C, the spawns get flipped, and oh my gosh, it was just a tremendous amount of hassle. So I decided, you know what, I'll just start to maintain the factory. That's got a relatively neutral spawn system. I'll be able to know when the enemies are starting to spawn behind me, because of course I'll just be keeping track of my UAV, and I see that they are starting to spawn back here. And so I say, alright, this is perfect. This is a perfect chance for me to get my dogs, and I do. And it is a new ball game, guys. Well, not really new. It's always been pretty good for me starting out. So I think I'm doing a relatively good job maintaining this factory. And so I call my Blackbird, knowing that I'll be able to do some quick work of these guys, knowing that I have a Blackbird up. And especially with dogs, they're all going to be paying attention to my dogs and trying to shoot them down, which will pretty much give me easy kills. So that's the nice thing about a Blackbird. So I realized, you know, I think I've overstayed my welcome in that position. I'm going to go back to B and start holding things off a little bit, even though my teammates are doing a really, really great job. And so I decided to call in my mortar teams because, hey, what else to do? I mean, there's no point in wasting a Blackbird and no point in wasting a mortar team at the same time. And, however, I don't think I get a kill with my mortar team. To be honest, I think the sentry gun would be a better kill streak to choose rather than the mortar team. However, I found that out a bit too late, and like I said before, this is a very old video because I haven't used mortar teams in over 2 prestiges, so yeah, you can already tell. And I used to use that because it was just sort of a nice little checkpoint to know that, alright, I'm very close to my Blackbird, and once I get my Blackbird, it should be pretty good. It should be smooth sailing for me to get my dogs, well, most of the time. And right here I somehow die. Lucky me. And I'm spawned all the way back in the factory. So what's going through my mind right now? Well, let's think. My teammates are spawning in the factory. There's a guy at around A, and we're starting to lose B. And so I realized that not only are we getting pushed away from the objective, they're in a position to get a full domination on us. So what am I thinking? Well, they do. Well, now what's going through my mind, you might be thinking, well, now we are spawning on the CB side, which is good. And so I say, you know what? If I can get good positioning on the B domination flag with the hatches closed, then I should be good to go. However, I didn't anticipate being killed there. Actually, I was sort of expecting it at the same time too, so I can't really say that. So I realized, you know what, I need to clear out this B area, and right there that claymore kind of screws me over. Takes away most of my health, and that guy just 1 or 2 shots me until I die. And so we were still spawning on the C side, so I'm thinking to myself, alright, cool, we're in town, we have a demanding lead over they do, and we are actually very, very good to go. So I decide, what the heck, I'll just try and cap it. And so my teammate comes and joins me in the capturing of the flag, even though it's not really capture the flag. This is domination. But you catch my drift. And so now, what's going on through my mind right now? Well, let's think. We've got a huge lead over they do. We've got 2 flags, they've got 1. We're all spawning on the right side of the map. However, my teammates are getting a bit ambitious and are starting to push the A spawn again. What do I think to myself? Well, let's go clear out our spawn just to make sure there's nothing going on, nothing funky going on. Because I see that we dominated them again, and now they're all on C. So what do? I immediately change my position and go take it. And I get a nice little lucky knife kill right there. And we are back in business, and this game is over. There's no way we are going to lose this now. I mean, unless we get dominated, and unfortunately that does happen sometimes, but I assure you I haven't lost like that yet, and I don't plan on losing like that either. So I realized that they're still spawning on C, so what am I going to do? I'm going to try to clear things out, because to be honest, I really like having the C-B domination position in radiation, and it's just so much easier to hold the objective. However, doing this is also good as well, because holding the factory is it gives you a good control of whether the doors are open or closed half the time, because, you know, of course the other side also you can control the door switches as well, which is pretty key. And you guys should really consider, if you are trying to capture a flag, close the hatches. Make sure that the only way you can die is through facing the other direction where the other team will probably be spawning, because if the hatches are open and you're trying to capture B from the other team, all they have to do is just throw a nade, throw a mortar team, throw whatever, and you're basically screwed. So that's just the only time you should have it open is when you have a flag and when you are on a kill streak and, I don't know, you have mortar teams and whatnot. So that's been Behind the Mine. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is going to be a regular series that will be going on every once a week or two, hopefully, because these are the videos that will be teaching you guys everything that goes through my mind and processes through my brain, and just results in actions that you guys might think, oh, hey, maybe I should do that. And so, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like the video, because I really like those likes. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video.